Hello, welcome to the first edition of the Road to Cheltenham 2023. 9 weeks in counting to the greatest show on turf. And over those next 9 weeks, we're going to count down, hopefully find you some winners as well, with both Joel Ross and Frankie Foster, who are going to join me, as I say, every single Monday night. Joel, first of all, with you, obviously 9 weeks away, how excited are you getting?
This is the time now it gets dead exciting, doesn't it? You've probably only got the Dublin Racing Festival, the DRF, coming up. Once that's done, you're looking at it, and the worst bit about it was I got a text from my mate yesterday, Wayne, because everyone's got a mate called Wayne, and he said, "I've got tickets for Sunday 4th. Yeah, Sunday 4th of February. Do you want to come? We'll hop on a plane. It's my sister's 40th, so I'll be at her party like this, watching it on my phone. Dead excited, dead looking forward to it. And once the weather gets nice, the countdown is on."
It certainly is. And Frankie, I know you're excited. You'll be there, probably trials day, I guess, building up to it. I mean, what does it mean to you?
I thought Joel was about to say people were asking him for festival tickets for a second, and that's probably the only negative, isn't it? Of have you got any spare tickets? Any tickets talking about the Tuesday or the Wednesday? That hasn't quite started. But yeah, I mean, the build-up from as soon as you enter the new year is for me. That New Year's Day meeting in Cheltenham, I love. That gets you back to Cheltenham, and this year it was a record-breaking crowd, which pretty much looked like day one of the festival. So going there on New Year's Day gave me a taste of what festival week's like. And as John mentioned, Dublin Race Festival is probably the only other standout weekend of top racing. Bar that, it's all road to the festival now.
Certainly is. And just a reminder, of course, we are here at Betfred. Nominal no bet on the 4 championship races, the Champion Hurdle, the Champion Chase, the Stayers Hurdle, and the Gold Cup. We looked at these races before Christmas. We're going to look at them again in a short while, just to see if the Christmas period has changed any of your ideas of potential winners of these big races. But the first place we're going to start is what we saw at the weekend, the Grade 1, the Tolworth Hurdle. Tahmuras, an impressive winner. We're looking ahead to the Supreme now, as he's 10-1 for the Supreme Novices Hurdle on the back of that. Frankie, were you impressed, and has he got a chance in the Supreme?
I was impressed, and he did put to bed some decent English rivals, but do I think we can mix it with the Irish? It is honestly, as you look at this, festive at the top of the market, Marine Nationale, you've got Champ Kylie in there, Irish Point, High Definition. All of those horses, if I'm honest, get me a bit more excited than Tahmuras does. He did what he needed to do to win that race. He's won on soft ground, heavy ground, I think good ground as well. He's beaten what he's needed to beat. He still looks like he'll improve. So yes, I was impressed at the weekend, but then when I throw him into the mix of the Supreme against the Irish, I think we're struggling to beat them here. I really do think the winner lies over in Ireland for the Supreme.
I'm a massive fan of Marine Nationale, so I agree with you. I think it's a go to Ireland. Joel, were you impressed with Tahmuras? Do you think this prize stays at home, or does it head over the Irish Sea? First blood to the Irish?
I think it's going straight to the Irish, this one. But for you, Marine Nationale, would you not prefer another run beforehand? Because they said it was given a hard race last time, and I've watched it many times, not only the last couple of furlongs. I mean, I would be really, really, really anxious about not having another run.
In Barry Connell, we trust.
All right, fine, fair enough. Well, if you look at the Tolworth, authorised speed just didn't go. It was smashed into even money, I think it was, something like that. Didn't go yard, and they said it scoped badly. So, that's worth another chance. Lastro Boy, if you like Tahmuras, well, Lastro Boy's a much bigger price. Tahmuras, I think this is a really, really good horse for the future. It's a decent horse now, and I think they paid like 30 grand or something for it. Noel Feely doing really well. My mate's got a leg in this, and they were absolutely cock-a-hoop about it winning at the weekend. They were really, really happy with it, but it would be so much better as a chaser. The old racing cliche goes. But I think straight away, I think you fill your boots with Facile Vega, right? You said a few weeks ago, Matt, 7-4. I wouldn't take 7-4 and Facile Vega get in there. We're only 9 weeks away. We're nearly there.
There was once upon a time, wasn't there? I think it was 5-2 Connie Hill and 7-4 Facile Vega at the start of the jump season, and people were talking about that as ridiculous. And you've got 5-6 and 1-4 now. So that would have been value. And I think I agree, Joel. I mean, there hasn't been a whole, but favourites don't notoriously go and win. But if you look back, there's not many times that a horse is odds on, and when they are, well, the last odds on we had was Appreciate It, which won by 20 odd lengths, didn't it? So William Mullins trained favourite that's done nothing wrong, that's odds on, deserves to be, looks very, very strong for me.
You mentioned the Champion Hill then, so let's move along and look ahead to that. So we are nominal no bet on it. It's all about Constitution Hill. Honeysuckle, though, not in the mares. Will go the Champion Hurdle or retirement. So that match still could be on, Joel, but surely it's a one-horse race, isn't it?
Well, it looks on paper it's a one-horse race, but what they always say, it's not on paper, it's on grass, and there's a few little obstacles in the way. The thing is, I don't think your punter turning up to have your fiver each way or a tenner on this race is going to be smashing into Constitution Hill. If you're not on it already, you're not taking the 1 to 4 or whatever it is. It's probably going to go off shorter as well. Honeysuckle, I think I mentioned to you yesterday, it's a bit like, I'm really pleased they're edging towards the Champion Hurdle as opposed to going for the mares race, because it's like Ronaldo going to Saudi Arabia.
Or South Africa.
South Africa, as he said in his press conference. You know, you want to see Honeysuckle go out on top. And look, if she's pulled up halfway around, it'll bring the stands down. And then we get the double bubble, the double pop, because Constitution Hill goes and wins by 50 lengths. And the camera's gone Honeysuckle, you know, and look, I've backed Honeysuckle at 8 for this race. And it was probably more head over heart. But, you know, I don't write her off. Don't write her off. But if she is pulled up, I don't mind taking a hit for the money.
I love Frankie's familiarity. He's now calling him Connie Hill.
I know.
Constitution Hill. He loves the horse. Do we see anything Ireland, State Man, Vauban that could upset the apple cart, Frankie?
I don't, but as Joel said, you're not going to back Constitution Hill at 1 to 4, are you? So you're trying to find another play. I said this about Honeysuckle before she was beaten over in Ireland. I said, you might as well take 4 to 1, like she was then. Each way is a bet to nothing at the chance that something goes wrong, and you can now get 6s. And I think people snapped up even bigger than that straight after the race. But I'm not afraid to say the same about State Man. If you're going to play an each way bet to nothing, if you're getting caught up the odds on 1 to 4 to place, you'd be pretty hopefully placed and you get your money back. And it is racing. As Joel said, it's raced on grass, not on paper. They do have to jump hurdles. Things can go wrong. And Constitution Hill, something could go wrong from him. If I was to say which horse would most likely to follow him home, would be State Man. So if the price is still big enough to back each way and get your money back, or near enough your money back, it's not the worst play in the world. It's certainly better than back in the 1 to 4 shot on the nose.
And as we know, Nicky Henderson's getting very forgetful in his older age. He might forget to put Constitution Hill on the horse box. I thought it was there this morning when I opened it. This buggered off. Anything could happen.
Literally anything could happen. And I think, like you said, everything has to be spot on for Constitution Hill to take his chance as well. All right, we'll leave the Champion Hill there. Move on to the Champion Chase, because Christmas really did shake up this market. Edwardstone obviously departed at Kempton on characteristic error. Blue Lord threw his hat into the ring with victory over in Ireland. And of course, at Kempton, Edwardstone Des Champs absolutely blew the Desert Orchid apart. I'll start with you this time, Frankie. Where are we? You've got a Nergamen in there as well, of course, trying to defend his title.
I'm going to stick with Edwardstone, albeit the most frustrating race of the Christmas period for me, because this was, well, when we initially spoke about Cheltenham, we spoke about Edwardstone. I just turned the corner after not quite getting on board, and I didn't fancy him for the Arkle, and I was trying to pick holes in him. I finally said, you know what, this horse has done absolutely nothing wrong. Has won grade 1 after grade 1 after grade 1, looks the real deal. I'm all in on Edwardstone, and then unseats at the first. So maybe I've cursed him. But after that performance at the Tingle Creek, this horse really, he's top class. And in the same way that we had Shishkin and Energumen going into the Countess House last year, best of the English, best of the Irish, Edwardstone for me is well in that calibre and should be talked about in the same kind of respect that Shishkin was going in, I think was going into the Champion Chase as favourite. And at the current prices, and we saw what happened to Shishkin last year, and Energumen went and won by however many lengths because there was nothing else in the field to challenge him. Edwardstone at 5 to 2 for me is a bet. And whatever happens from here on, I think that as it stands right now, 4 to 6 about Energumen and 5 to 2 about Edwardstone. Edwardstone is the value in this field for me.
I know, Joe, you're a fully paid up member of the Edwardstone Fan Club as well, aren't you?
Yeah, I got off the train. And I thought we would peach, and then I got back on it again. And just like Frankie, I've watched that replay back so many times, and I can't work out what's gone wrong. Obviously, the thing to do as a punter, you've got to blame the jockey because it's never the horse. You've got to blame the jockey. And I've watched it back, and it's the most bizarre thing. He just lands on top of the fence. And Tom Cannon goes out the side door, and it was like, I showed it to my missus, and she was like, did he jump off that? I'm like, you don't jump off Edwardstone. Come on, love. This is a decent horse here. Not that anyone jumps off anything ever. But not nowadays. But Edwardstone, again, for me, is great. I'm in the other camp like Frankie when it came to Blue Lord. I didn't. I was never a fan. But you just look at this horse now, and you're just ticking boxes and ticking boxes and ticking boxes. Really, really, really good horse. I would take on an Ergomen odds on. I would go Edwardstone. I'd go Blue Lord to finish second.
Yeah, the vibes are good from Sutton only for Blue Lord. Right, let's look at Thursday's feature then and say we all know what to know about on this as well. It's the Stayers, a hurdle. Flooring Porter, of course, looking for his third straight win in the race. We'll start with you, Joel. I mean, you're sat on a really nice bet. You're 25 to 1. You've got a good bet on Home by the Lee for the Stayers.
Well, yeah, I put it up on Betfred's Punters Guide, I think. We did a little preview, didn't we? So
Yeah.
I saw it before it ran, 25 to 1.
And you went straight to the bookies and backed it, didn't you?
Well, no, I went straight to the pub, first of all, and then forgot to back it. And then, it won, it won that weekend and went into 5 to 1 favourite. I think it's drifted a little bit, hasn't it, since then? But Owned by the Lee, yeah. I'm not getting on that stupid prices, and I really hope this horse gets beat now because I've not had a penny on it. Look, Flooring Porter, third in a row. We've got to go for it. Is Tahmuras still in the race?
He's in this. He's entered in this. He's out the champion. He would take out the champion, but Tahmuras is entered in the Stayers.
Yeah, and there's these sort of races now. You're still looking at them, and I know we're only 9 weeks away, but you're still not sure what's running where. Look, I put up Home by the Lee at 25 to 1 for Joseph O'Brien. I presume JJ will take the ride. Look, 5, 6 to 1, whatever it is now. Have a little pop on it. But if you missed the 25s, and I know people tweet me and go, "Thanks for that, mate. I took the 25s. 20% commission. Send it my way via PayPal."
There you are. You heard it here first. Which is fair. You did tip it up, so it is on record. It can be viewed. Just won't be benefiting financially from it. Frankie, Flooring Porter, you say, I know we were talking about this off air, and you're not sure if he can do it third time on the trot. We've got Paisley Park in here as well. I mean, what a resurgence to his career he has had.
Yeah, do you know what? As we look at it now, Paisley Park's probably the most interesting from a betting angle. Home by the Lee, as Joel did a great job of putting up a big price, probably looks your most likely winner now, but it's not one exactly that you're going to get value on. He's only going to get shorter, in my opinion, from here on, or around about the same price on the day. So if you missed the 25s, you could definitely still take sixes. I mean, he's beaten Flooring Porter, he's beaten the best of the Irish stayers, and these stayers, they're pretty straightforward. I think if you're mixing with the top and you're beating the best, then you're going to be in with a chance come the festival. So definitely a great chance Home by the Lead. But in terms of thinking that what might be overpriced, you can't think Paisley Park at 12s, having just won, is still not getting the kind of credit he deserves. So having won this race plenty of times, won around Cheltenham plenty of times. If you won for ratings and RPRs, he's bang up there in terms of ratings. And he's still, as I'm looking at it, 12s at the bottom of the top, however many we're showing there. I actually spoke to Aidan Coleman on New Year's Day about him winning at Kempton. And I said, did you expect that? And he said, I wouldn't say I expected to win, but I told enough people that he was overpriced. He didn't understand why the horse was such a bigger price than Goshen and Champ. And I think it's exactly the same story here. I think if I asked him what do you think of his price for the festival, he'd say, why is he not up there with Flooring Porter? He came fourth in the festival last year, Home by the Lee. Classical Dream, I think, did he beat at the festival last year? Why is he not up there with them? Why is he 12 to 1? So in terms of value, the old boy Paisley Park will give you a run for your money and has a very high chance of being in the places.
Can you imagine the scenes if he won?
That would be incredible, wouldn't it? The question is he going to have a run before? No.
Yeah, he's going to go to Cleve.
Go to Charleston.
Yeah, he's going to Cleve, yeah. So
which is his standard route. Yeah, you find out more. Same old route. He's done it enough times, hasn't he? Gone there and then gone to the festival. So I guess before that, take the 12s maybe.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting show, of course, that we'll do on the back of the Trials Day and then the week after on the back of the Dublin Racing Festival. Right, so we'll go back to you, Joe, because talk about the Gold Cup. It all centres around about Galopin Des Champs. But I was a Haydock just prior to Christmas, just prior to the New Year. And I was talking to a guy who I know there, decent judge as well. And he says he's going to be all over Protektorat. He's back in Protektorat between now and the festival. And I thought, oh, okay. And the more I look at it, I can see his case, Joel.
Who is it? Sir Alex Ferguson or Dan Skelton? Who was it? Come on. A proper judge. It was one of those guys who stands around security, isn't it? They're really good. They're really good tipsters. Number 6 every time. Frankie said he spoke to Aidan Coleman on New Year's Day. I spoke to Dougie Costello on Boxing Day for no other reason, just to find out what he got for Christmas. But as far as the Gold Cup goes, look, when you're putting up a 50-1 winner, which we did on the Punters Guide last week, when you're getting a few quid here and there, I've been putting tenors and fivers on A Plus Tard every single time. And I think I mentioned to you before, it's only now that you're getting the squeaky bum time. The Arctic Brazil horse at the weekend, we said beforehand it wouldn't travel. It didn't travel over it and didn't travel in the race, and nothing was found. Henry's horses just ain't traveling when they're coming over. It is my favorite horse in training. It's been there, it's done it. And I still keep the hope in A Plus Tard. There's all the young pretenders coming through, and there's all the ones that you can put your line through. I couldn't have Brave Man's Game. Could not have Brave Man's Game at all. That was primed for. I mean, the day that was born, that was winning the King George, wasn't it? And he said that. I could not have that. But the one that I've had, and you can have a laugh at me if you want, Monkfish around 16-1, no runner, no bet. So if it doesn't go, and he's had 6 years off, if it doesn't go, you get your money back and you can play with something else. But I just thought this would be the best training performance of all time if Monkfish goes and wins, because good horses, what is it they say? Form is temporary and class is permanent.
Class is permanent, yeah. You should know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
9-1 winner, 50-1 winner at the weekend. That's certainly form being temporary.
Yeah, and 3 short price favourites.
yeah, absolutely. Kiboshed, yeah. That's what the nominal no bet concession comes into its own, doesn't it? Horses like Monkfish, horses like Blazing Cal, maybe even horses like A Plus Tard at the minute, because we're not going to see him probably until the Gold Cup. Is everything okay with him? We're not going to see him complete a race. So that's where the nominal no bet concession certainly comes into its own. But yeah, it looks a wide open Gold Cup. I mean, just quickly, boys, I'll mention just quickly for you, Joel, Galopin Des Champs. We talked about this pre-Christmas. Still too short. We're going to see in the Irish Gold Cup, but he is skinny at 6-4.
I think he's going to go off shorter. I think he'll be like 5-4, 6-4, something like that on the day. There will be a springer from Ireland, like there always is. But I think Galopin Des Champs, a bit like Brandy Love, the Irish, they will tell you this is your double. This is your double. We can have Constitution Hill, and they can have Galopin Des Champs and Brandy Love. They're still massive on Brandy Love as well. So if Galopin Des Champs, if you look, it's the one that they're looking at is ours, if you know what I mean. That they're massive. They're massive on this. And you look down there, Noble Yates. I mean,
price rise today.
Yeah, I know. Hence, that's gonna shorten. There's a lot of horses that are so much shorter than they should be. So let's go A Plus Tard, and let's get your fingers crossed. And Monkfish to make the return surprise of all time.
Monkfish as well, no. But I think Paul Tannen's really looking forward to riding Brandy Love as well, isn't he? In the mares. Right, Frankie, back to you as well. I mentioned price race tipping up Noble Yates, but are you going to keep the faith of the home press, I believe?
I think so, yeah. I'm keeping the faith. Okay, Galopin Des Champs is, as Joel said, the kind of the horse that is theirs. It's the race and the horse for the Irish that they are thinking, we've got the best here. It should go and win. But 6-4 for any horse in a Gold Cup is far too short for me. So much can happen in a Gold Cup. So for me, 6-4, I'm looking elsewhere, albeit you can look at this and obviously has the market reflect. Galopin Des Champs, incredibly classy, incredibly talented, but I wouldn't be backing 6-4. There's plenty of English horses in here with a chance. Long Press, Brave Man's Game, I wouldn't be as against as Joel, but I'd be more in favour of Long Press out of the two of them. Protektorat, as you mentioned, really strong chance. Those three for me, because A Plus Tard, there's too many questions about. Noble Yates, I don't think has quite been up there in as classy affairs as the others just mentioned, and Conflated would be one to note down. But the English three, Long Press, Brave Man's Game, Protektorat, for me, I think have a great chance, and I'm keeping the faith in Long Press, a horse that we all said Brave Man's Game may go and beat at Kempton. The track will suit, as Joel said, primed for that race. And Long Press was going every bit of the way with him up until the last. He's won at Cheltenham before. The Gold Cup's always been the target for the horse. He will be even better come festival week. And I think Mr. Charlie Deutsch could be winning a Gold Cup. So it's nothing interesting. They're the top two in the market. But yeah, in English, I wouldn't be surprised to see an English horse go and win this. And I think the value lies in them rather than a 6-4 Galopin Des Champs.
Can I ask a question? If Conflated goes in this race, do you see the return of Davy Russell now that Jack Kennedy's out? His fifth leg break at the age of 23. Imagine, because he's not got fat in 2 weeks or whatever it is, isn't it? He can come back.
That'd be incredible.
Yeah. Imagine him
if
coming
he did,
back.
I'd have a bet.
Yeah, oh no. So would I. So with Jack out, he's got a choice of Jordan Gainford, was it Sam Ewing and Denise O'Regan?
Jordan Gainford ride Hewitt.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know if that'll go. I mean, that's I backed that for the Grand National. How much did they pay for that?
They said next stop Gold Cup, €800.
€100. God. Yeah. So So Davy Russell comes back, wins unconflated, and retires again, straight to the pie shop.
Yeah, well, it's not inconceivable. I know there's a few questions bandied around on social media about maybe Davy Russell returning. What a story that would be. So yes, we are nominal no bet, as I mentioned, on those 4 championship races every single Monday, 7 o'clock on our YouTube channel. You can join us too. We're going to review the weekend action and all those connotations, of course, looking ahead to the festival with these boys alongside me. You must join us on Friday as well when we preview the weekend action, because I'll give Joel a big thumbs up. Yes, a 50-1 and a 9-1 winner he tipped up last weekend. They are out there and he keeps on finding them. So every Monday, please join us. We are nominal no bet now on those 4 championship races. The weekend we'll be viewing Kempton and Warwick. I'll probably take a look at the novice chases headed up the Cheltenham Festival, because then will be just 8 weeks ago until the Cheltenham Festival. So make sure you join us every Monday evening. We count down to the greatest show on turf.